Welcome to our newest insanity here on the channel. We have this Jeep XJ. I don't even know what year it is. It's the later model with the more rounded body. And she's fresh out of the barn. I know absolutely nothing about it other than it's on my trailer. And it doesn't run right now. So, here we are. Let's get this thing off the trailer. First we gotta blow up this tire. It'll hold air for about 10 minutes and she's flat again. So we do all my unstrapping, pump up the tire. We gotta find the jump box to slide her into neutral and get her off the trailer, and then I can give you the grand tour. Well, if I'm brave enough to go inside. Got a Jeep Cherokee here. Obviously right now it's not in driving condition. It's yeah, it's been through the ringer. Whole rear hatch and some other things, but that one's in pieces. She needs a good cleaning, missing some things, but yeah. Nice big mudding tires on there. Not sure what the... Oh, she's up in the front there. I'm trying to figure out why she was squatting down here in the rear, but I think that's because she's kind of tilted up on the front there. So that's probably why. 6-cylinder automatic, I think. Probably. Can't tell. I don't know. Did they make any 6-cylinder manuals? Probably not. I think, oh, there she is, yeah. It's automatic. 6-cylinder automatic. We got keys in her. I think there's even a key in there. Well, yeah, got some things in the back. Broken glass, bottle caps. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, before we get to that, goal is to get these tractors running. Appears to have some sort of sunroof or hatched sunroof, or appears to be glass. Yeah, I mean, it's just caulked in, you know. I'm sure that won't cause any trouble. You've got your standard inline 6 for the Jeep. Automatic trans and 4-wheel drive. Battery that's 15 years old. Air conditioning, we'll have to see if we can get that working. That's the most important part of the vehicle. It's got mud and tires on it. One of them is completely dead. That one, I don't know. It's got a leak in it somewhere, but it was sitting there just flat, and it'll only hold air for a little bit. But the rest of the tires actually hold air, but I don't think I'm going to run them on this thing, because you can see from the suspension clearance, she's only got about 3/4 of an inch between this and the rear. So, you know, she goes down a little bit, she's going to hit the tire. That's a nice, beautiful red. The paint's in nice shape. We'll get to the interior. I'll save the best for last. She's got this nice heavy-duty farm bumper on her, you know, in case you hit a deer or a house, you know. But actually, I kind of like this bumper because, you know, you can push stuff with it if you want to, and it even sticks out farther than your grill. So it's connected right to the frame. I crawled under it. Well, not crawled, but I looked under it before. Over here, here's a normal Jeep rim and tire. You can see the clearance is a little better. All the glass is good and all the windows go down except for passenger door, and this back one's busted. I don't know what we're going to do there. We're going to have to find something in the junkyard or something, but I don't even know if the hatch opens. Oh, it does open. Will it hold us?
Watch your hand.
We got critters. This was sitting in a covered barn for a long time, but as you can see, it's got, well, we're gonna need to evict some inhabitants. Yeah, but you know, it's got bees, and I see spider eggs over there, and there were some spiders that ran away from me earlier when I opened the door over there, but you know, they're only about as big as my hand, so that's okay. The upholstery is actually, I mean, again, we're gonna need to do some evictions, but the upholstery is actually in fairly decent shape, and the carpet, once we, you know, clean it and got the vehicle, well, she's got electric locks. I don't know if they work, but we'll make them work. The doors all seem to shut nice, and the hinges are okay. She's missing a radio. Oh, we got the plate there. That's fine. Radios are cheap on Fleabay, and it does have four-wheel drive. I believe the engine may not be stuck. It may turn over. I don't know. Do we know anything about the history of this Jeep? When was the last time it was driven? Nope. I gotta try to get that door open over there. I don't know if I want to crawl through there or not. I don't know. Sure, let's go into the belly of the beast. Oh, oh, okay, I think I see why that door might be a little stubborn to open, but it does open, so that's a good sign. So the door does open and close. It just seems to be a little, I don't know. We'll have to deal with that. I don't know if I can get the door shut again now, though. That could be a problem. Well, we'll deal with that when we get to it. I don't know if I want to open this or not, but oh, we got spare parts. What we got? I don't know. What we got? Oh, what you show me what you got. Some kind of hull sensor, and oh, we got manuals and stuff. That's, well, we'll get them out of there at a later date. That's gonna take a pry bar or something. But actually, the seats are in, oh, well, as you can tell, like, this is the later seat, and that's an earlier style 97 down seat. So somebody's been playing around with some of the upholstery options in here, but she's all there. Well, mostly. It's a little dirty, just a tad bit. She is missing a few exterior parts, and there's some dents and things, and these fender flares, and well, we can fix that. I've got a good bit of experience with putting XJs back together. Another thing I'm gonna have trouble with is we're missing the back trim pieces here, and you know, the rear bumper needs some reshaping and things, and we've been towing on her, but basically this trim piece and this corner piece on the bumper are what's missing here. I find over on this side, so we just need to find that piece somewhere, and she'll be a complete unit, and that glass. And assuming we can get her started and running, I don't know why she was parked. We picked her up and put her on the trailer and brought her here, so I don't know a whole lot. It does have the roof rack bars. That's nice in case you want to go kayaking or something. Mirrors are intact. That's a little unusual for vehicles I get. Appears to have some sort of fancy hood with some black, gold, gunmetal gray highlights. I'm sure that's exciting. Windshield wipers are like brand new. Nope, they're not. More cat paw prints. Yeah. I'm too afraid to crawl into the underside. Rockers are rusted out, typical XJ fashion. Fuel cap. It does have a fuel cap, and it does open, so give her the old snifferoonie. Ooh, spiders. Oh. Whew. Actually, that smells like that might burn, so that might not be a problem. She might have only been sitting for a couple of years. So yeah, that's the quick run around. We're gonna have some future highlights and jobs on this Jeep, and we are going to give this thing a deep cleaning because it is just full of spiders and more spiders and things that aren't spiders but are bigger than spiders by the looks of it. On a drive home, we had a couple mouse nests and things just fall right out of her, so you know, that's a good sign. Rusty parts falling off, that's great. She does roll nice, and none of the wheels are locked up. Well, the gas tank looks like it's in good shape, but that might just be the plastic cover. Oh, there's my Coke from the other day. Headliner, well, yeah, I think we're going to be doing a headliner on this puppy, maybe. We have an expert on that though, so that shouldn't be a problem. Doesn't look like it has a spare tire. Nope, no spare. I don't know what's in here. This is just basically trash. I don't think there's going to be anything useful or salvageable out of here, but for anybody who knows these XJs, they're pretty nice, durable little, especially for beater vehicles. You know, you can just take these things and beat them into the ground. And well, I have absolutely no idea what we're going to do with it. I don't know if we can actually fix this thing up nice enough to the point that anyone would want to buy it. Probably not, but I don't know. It would make a nice mud and off-roading vehicle for somebody, because she's very intact, and it has this nice bumper up here, and this thing is bolted directly into the frame, like I said, except for that loose bolt there, which, you know, easily fixable. But you know, fix those bolts there and you could mount a winch or something right on the front of this thing, just bolt that sucker right on and you'd be ready to rock and roll. If we get to it, I might make this bumper look a little nicer if we actually decide that maybe it's something we can sell. But yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know if we have a key. It does work in the ignition. I don't know if it works in the, oh, it actually works in the locks too, so that's a good sign. What's wrong with it? Everything. Well, take a good whiff in here and you can get hantavirus just smelling it. So, oh, I also forgot to mention that I also got this. So this one came along with the other Jeep package deal. It's missing a few parts, as you can see, just a few. This was kind of a half parts Jeep for the other one, but for all you XJ lovers out there, if you know your years and models and everything, this is the older version. What year is this? It's gonna be 90s something. This is a 95, and the other one's a 99, 2000, 2001. I don't know, it's the later version. So things like the hatch and things that I actually need for the red one don't translate over. So roof rack's missing. There's some things in here. You know, like the transmission. There's the front bumper covers from the red Jeep. When you put that fancy bumper on it, off-roading bumper, comes complete with the transfer case, but I don't think it's any good because there's a Lucas anti-slip additive bottle in there. We got some engine parts, and here's the wheel we took off to put the wheel on to move it. I got one of these that did not hold air because well, she's got a little bit of a hole in her, and now the bead's broken from rolling her off the trailer. But I don't know how much I'm going to get out of this thing. The seat is already in the other Jeep. I don't know if you noticed when I did a quick walk around to that, the seats are different. Well, that's because the driver's seat in the other one has an earlier one. We got some engine parts, intake and valve cover, drive shaft, AC compressor, more parts in the back. This door probably doesn't open. I don't know. Does it open? Oh, it does open. You just gotta know the trick. Oh, put my hand in something wet. That can't be pleasant. We got a radiator, which I don't know if any of this stuff is any good. Drive shaft. That kind of stuff. The remaining seats are pretty well trashed from people throwing parts on them, so I don't know if they're gonna be any salvageable or any good. Nobody wants seats that are full of rust holes. This thing is just a rust bucket. The floors on the driver's side are gone, and the rockers, and it's just completely rusted out. I don't know what the story of this is, but my impression is that they got this one first, then they got the red Jeep, and used this one for some parts, but you know, not completely interchangeable. Again, they're both automatics, manuals, and these are harder to come by. Empty glove compartment. What about, oh, empty there too. All right, well, we got various hardware and stalks and engine fan down there. So yeah, I don't know how much this is actually going to be good for parts. I think I'm going to be pulling off the very few things that I can use, and I'll either list the rest or send her right to the scrapyard. I don't know yet. Bacon, the most important meal of the day. In other news, we got to get these old dead tires off of here. So we're going to steal the tires from our other Jeep, and actually we can roll this thing around then. So let's get doing that. All right, we got a set of usable wheels and tires on this thing, and by that I mean they don't have holes in them. Tread sucks, but you know what, this is a piece of junk, so piece of junk tires, appropriate. Okay, it's time to do the preliminary mechanical and fluid investigation of this unit. Oh, okay. Already I see a nest of some kind back there. So I'm looking for chewed wires or chewed wire loom, and actually it looks pretty good. I'm not really seeing any chewing. Okay, let's move around here and see what we got. I already took a sniff in the gas tank, and actually it doesn't sound near as bad as what I thought. Washer fluid, don't care about that. Brake fluid is full. That's a good sign. This thing might have brakes. Power steering. Yeah, we got fluid, that's good. Radiator. Oh, we're full of water. This is good. This is very good. Okay, let's check the oil. I smell no gasoline, and we are in the safe zone. It could stand to use a little bit, but doesn't smell that bad. Give her a test here on the viscosity chart. Actually, it doesn't feel bad. I mean, it's a little dirty there because it's been sitting a while, I'm sure. You know, but not terrible. I was sitting in a barn, so all right, let's see if we have any transmission fluid in her. Well, it's not red, it's very dark, and it is in there. It smells proper, but yeah, viscosity. But she's old. If we're gonna drive this any distance or at all, I'm probably gonna do a full filter and fluid change on her, but until I know if she runs or not, we're not touching that. Disconnected wire. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe that's an extra wire. Got some loose wires down there. Not sure what's going on, but yeah, they're not near the exhaust because the exhaust is over here. Well, she's got a header on her. Okay. I don't know if these things came factory with headers or no. That's not a header, is it? Yeah, that's just a standard exhaust. All right. I'll probably regret this because you never know what you're going to find in here, but let's take a look. Well, how do you, why aren't you coming off? Why aren't you cooperating? Air filter looks good from that side. That's a good sign. Spider. Bing! Get off, get off, get out away from my air filter. That's not bad, actually. Get rid of the spider eggs. Alright. I can live with that. That's good. That means probably nothing got in there. Yeah, I think we look pretty good. Okay. Good. Get on there. Yep. Don't be afraid now. Not gonna hurt you. Well, I might if you don't go back on. Alright. Obviously she needs a cleaning. The belt's like... Well, belts might survive. Oh, okay. That's a good thing. Now, this is fuel injected. Obviously. So the main thing I worry about on these fuel injected vehicles that sit for a while is the fuel gums up in the system, and it's not like pulling a carburetor where you can just pull the thing off and rebuild it. You know. So check the throttle's free. Yep, she's free. That's good. So I don't know if these things have a fuel pressure test port. Some vehicles do, some don't. I mean, I'm not a Jeep expert, but oh, there we go, down there under the intake manifold, down around to the back and down. Okay, where are we coming up? Where's the other end of your... Oh, that's not a good sign. Where's that go? Some kind of miscellaneous... Does it go here? I don't know. Where do you go? Up here somewhere? Up here? Anything? I don't know where you're supposed to go. Hopefully you're not important. Alright. There's our pressure test port. That's good. Oh, she's got fuel pressure. Okay, that probably means the pump works. I think I accidentally cranked her over a few times. I doubt she's held pressure all this time. I tried to save the battery from this. The battery was only 4 years old because I have a feeling she was parked a couple years ago. She hasn't been sitting terribly long, but she has been sitting and, you know, in a barn, and that's better than being outside, but it's not great. So the battery was shot. Usually these modern vehicles, unless you have a battery disconnect, there's at least a tiny draw in the system, and it does run down over time eventually. Fan shroud's missing. I wonder if I have one from the other Jeep. These radiators are kind of long and low. They always have an engine fan over there and then an auxiliary fan over here that usually comes on with the AC or when it overheats. It does have air conditioning. That'll be nice if we actually get it running. If I'm going to use this thing as a trail rig, you know, I demand air conditioning. Uh-oh. Got a fire somewhere? Am I on fire? So I guess the next step is to put a battery in her and see what lights on fire. So a while back I brought home an old Mercedes. Not old, but you know, 24 years old, I think. 26, 27, I don't know. She was old. So a while ago I brought her back, and I ended up putting a lot of money into her and still not being able to bring her back to life. I could have if I would have kept putting money in her, but sometimes these things will start right up, sometimes they won't. Some of it depends how they were stored. In the case of the Mercedes, it was because mice got into her, and I couldn't afford a new harness by the time I spliced about half the wires back together, but I kept splicing. I had to tear half the car apart to get to the harness because, you know, Mercedes. And, you know, plastic parts started breaking because it was sitting long and brittle, and, well, I had to call it a loss at a certain point, junk it, unfortunately, just because it was turning into a money pit, and it wasn't worth it. So sometimes that happens. I'm thinking because this is a Jeep, well, they're a little simpler, but you know, the wiring harness isn't buried under things, and yeah, might be able to bring this thing back to life. Well, I'm not a big fan of these jump boxes because they usually work great about 3 times and then they die. Some people like them, but I don't because they're not consistent. Let's see what happens. We got no power. Heard something click. Lights. Yeah, we lost power as soon as we started to turn her over. That's gonna get caught in the fan blade as soon as she starts up there. Maybe. Alright. She does turn over. That's a good sign. And clutch is unstuck. Oh, you quit your beeping. We need more juice to get her to turn over, but I guess I need a real battery. And by good battery, let me clarify and say I mean by that one that is grossly oversized. Engines sit for a while, they get stubborn. All right, let's try her again. Well, we did get a little bit of oil pressure, even as slow as she's turning over, so that's a good sign. I don't know if these jumper cables and this booster pack is going to work. I'm going to have to find a battery that'll actually fit in this engine compartment. All right, we got a different battery in here. I don't know. Hook the booster pack just up just to make me feel better, I guess. I won't do anything, but sure. Horrible. Wow. I mean, that sounds like it's shredding itself from the inside. Yeah. Well, frankly, I'm not sure what to do with that. I mean, that sounds like, yeah, that's bad. You know, very, very bad. One might even say awful. There's definitely a lot of metal noise going on in there. She does have oil pressure. Beyond that, I don't know what to say. I mean, we can abuse the snot out of her and see if the noise goes away. What do I have to lose? I mean, at this point, the engine's probably shot. Either that or the torque converter's falling apart. I don't see any metal or anything in the oil. I don't know. Maybe one of the accessories is making that noise. Maybe the water pump. I might take the fan belt off and spin everything individually. A noise like that could be the water pump. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that. The whole front of the water pump is loose. Maybe that's the issue. I might take off the belt and fire her up for just a few seconds, and that'll tell me if the noise is in the engine or one of the spinny rotational thingies. I am surprised that she fired up so well. She ran a little bit rough at first, but so yeah, I guess that means the gas is good. I didn't really have time to check any gauges other than oil pressure, and we are getting good oil pressure, so I don't know. Maybe that leads me to be a little bit hopeful. That's I'll loosen this tensioner and pull this belt off. Okay, yeah, I mean, everything is pretty much free except this water pump. Well, she's loose and she's making a lot of noise. I'm gonna fire it up for just a second and see if it makes that noise still. Okay. That's a very bad thing. Yeah, she's definitely got some issues. It's not just the water pump. I don't know if it's worthwhile taking the valve cover off or not to see what's going on in there. Maybe she has stuck valves. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like that you know, that tangy metal sound. It's not like a knock, but we got nothing to lose by taking the valve cover off, so I guess we'll do that. I should note one thing I don't really hear is that when it's spinning over with just a starter, it's not making any loud clunking noises. And while that can be fairly meaningless, I mean, it could be good or it could be bad, but that could indicate that there's something that's just, you know, like a valve stuck or something. And when you move it over slowly, it's not moving, it's, you know, whatever's making the noise is moving slow enough that it's not like a bearing or anything, but I don't know. I've heard some pretty bad engines in my day, and that could be several different things. So I took the valve cover off. I have the coil disconnected so it won't start on us. And we're gonna spin the engine over and we're gonna check each valve and see if any of them are stuck. Alright, well, all the valves appear to be working normally, and from up here I can hear a horrible clunking noise coming from the engine, so I'm guessing it's in the bottom end. Fantastic. Pulled the valve cover, nothing wrong. I pulled the plugs, nothing wrong. You know, just to make sure none of them were smashed up or anything. So the top end of the engine appears to be good. Somebody replaced all the plugs and wires apparently just before it was parked, and I mean right before it was parked. They're brand new. So I thought, well, let's see if the transmission works. So I started it up, put her in gear, and she stalls out. She won't even move in gear. It just, even if I rev it up a little and try to neutral drop it, just shuts it right down. So I'm going to pull the bell housing inspection cover off, because it seems like this might be transmission related somehow. So I disconnected the torque converter, pulled the bell housing cover, disconnected all the torque converter bolts. So the engine is spinning freely from the transmission now. So let's start it up and see if there's any difference. Completely quiet now. So the engine's good. Just don't know about the transmission. I don't know. Maybe it's something in the torque converter. I mean, I don't think I have any choice now but to pull the transmission. I mean, as far as that goes, it could be something in the torque converter, or maybe the flywheel's busted, or, you know, it's hard to tell because this doesn't have a huge inspection cover. It's just a little plate along the bottom that you can pull down to just barely access the torque converter bolts. So I guess we're gonna dig into this a little bit more and do some investigating. So looking at various parts here, there's some hitting along there. You'd think that would wear away, but you know, maybe not. And on the bell housing cover is not straight. And up here, there's a lot of wear here, wearing away. There's definitely some hitting there too. I think that was some of the, you know, the tanginess of what we were hearing. It wasn't more of a clunk, it was more of a, you could hear that metal vibration. So, possibly. I'm gonna hope it's that, not the transmission. So I guess maybe what I'm gonna do here, this looks like a aftermarket starter replacement unit. I think what I'm gonna do here is remove some of this material. I think what I'm going to do here is remove some of this material and, yeah, you know, see what happens. Well, after much of a battle, we got the noise gone. Basically, it was just the bell housing baffles and everything. They were just dented, and I don't know what went on down there, but it was bad. Parts of the starter were hitting and the bell housing cover, and we got it all straightened out. Listen to it now. She does drive. I just kind of backed her up a little and drove her forward so the gears work. So, yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be bad, but she runs smooth as molasses now. Let me go rev her up for you here. You can tell it when on the flex plate and everything and the torque converters start to move a little bit, you can sometimes hear it still. I might have to go back in there and bend some more things, you know, but at idle anyway, she's out. Well, so now that we got her operational, at least semi-operational, we're probably going to do a few more things on this, you know, just, you know, to get her in halfway decent shape. But What do I do with this thing? I don't know. I got it because the price was right, not because I needed a Jeep or, you know, wanted a Jeep. But who doesn't want a Jeep when you get the chance to get one? I don't know. What do we do with this thing? Jack it up 3 feet in the air and take it off-roading? Do we just, I don't know, put some new tires on it, take it off-roading? Should we paint it bright pink and put a Velociraptor on the hood? Or we turn it into a daily driver and see how long we can run this thing before it explodes? What do we do with this thing? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. Because I don't know. I don't have a lot of money, but if anybody's got ideas what we can do with, you know, $0 on a no budget build or something with this thing, then what do we do with this thing? You want to see more of it on the channel? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you hate this thing and never want to see it again. We've never done a Jeep before on the channel. I'm not a big Jeep person, but maybe some of you are. I don't know. Most channels, when they get a four-wheel drive, you know, they'll take it off-roading and, you know, try to milk some content out of that. You really want to see that? Probably not. No one wants to see that. Should I sell it and make some money and try to fix some of my other projects around here? Yeah, probably ought to do that. Will I? I don't know. Probably no one wants to buy this hunk of junk, but, you know, it does run, so that's something. Anyway, if you stuck with us this long, thanks for watching. We always appreciate a like or a subscribe if you like what we're doing. I mean, even if you hate what we're doing, you still like a like or subscribe. Who wouldn't? But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Good grief. Nobody around here. There's just nobody believes in mufflers. What's going on over there? Come on, drive away. Dump trucks. Is it a Florida thing? I don't know.